Hi everyone and welcome to this week's video tutorial. This will be another bot on the Central Cannon vs Sandwich Horse Defense opening system. It is based on the book by Master Xiangqi and Grandmaster Xiangqi, Dubious Positions and How to Attack Them. So without further ado, let us begin. Central Cannon, Pale Corner Cannon, Sandwich Horse Defense, and this bot would choose to play P3+1. Please refer to the earlier bots for more information on this opening system. Now in this bot, Red would opt to take a very steadfast approach by developing the left horse as a edge horse. Now with this move, the effects or the threat of this cannon will be greatly diminished because now there will be no possibility of a skewer if Red played the horse as a proper horse. However, this opening would be the entire opening system would become very slow paced, and it will not be easy to lead to very complicated or attacking situations where confrontations would be imminent. Instead, the main objective for both colors will be to try to command the important lines and positions on the board. And in this opening system, the position of the pieces will be key to success for both colors. So Black would play R9 equals to 8 before Red could develop his chariot. And other possibilities would be to play P3+1 or R9+1, which are also commonly seen variations. So far this is considered tabia and it's okay. Now Red would play C8 equals to 7 to threaten the horse. Note that there's Black had not played an elephant, so this horse will be vulnerable to attack. With C8 equals to 7, Red would also be prepared to play R9 equals to 8 to develop his left chariot. Black chooses the proactive approach to play R1 equals to 2 at this point in time, preparing to form a blockade. It would not be a good idea to protect the horse at this point in time because it will still take Red at least 2 moves. Because if it is so done, Red would immediately develop his left chariot. It would be advisable for Black to play C2 equals to 1 and start attacking this file. With A4+5, Black intends to develop his chariot to the red file. 1 equals to 2. The biggest threat now would be Black's chariot, and Red would offer the trade of chariots, even though it would be a loss of 1 move. And Red will now change his formation and be prepared to attack Black's glaring weaknesses. This horse over here on the board. Now Red would have the initiative. So R1 equals 2 is advocated. Protecting the horse at this point is not. Okay, Red develops. Black tries to form a blockade, threatening to capture the central pawn and trade chariots if need be. P7+1 will be Red's counter because now the possibility of C2 equals to 5 will not be present. The cannon mount will be moved away and Red will start attacking this horse over here. And Black would advance the chariot to the riverbank to land support, hoping to protect his riverbank, his boundaries, and also possibly traverse the chariot to this flank later on for a concentrated attack on Red's left flank. Now this is an imperative move to make. Again, it would not be a good idea to protect the elephant, to protect the horse by moving the elephant, because again, Red would trade chariots, and Red's attack would suddenly come to naught. Now, Black tries to gain some material. Red daringly attacks the central pawn, because if the horse captured the cannon, Red would capture the chariot. So Red would have to resolve the threat. Trade chariots. Black would still opt to capture the elephant. Red would move the elephant to try to dislodge the black cannon. The only safe place. Threatening to capture the cannon again. And now red would have a full of offensive part on ahead. The central cannon would be deadly. It could also capture other pawns. Let's say if black captured, tried to make this move, he could trade material, etc. And now after this move, red would now also be threatening to checkmate with g7+5. This would be the biggest threat, and due to the fact that both the black horses are severely undeveloped, red would have the huge advantage in this chariotless game situation. Also, there will be 5 pawns versus 3 pawns, and more pawns would seem to continue to fall. So red would enjoy the advantage. So that is why again e3+5 would not be a good idea. So r8+4 imperative, so that if red chooses to trade chariots, he could move away like this. Okay, now black would be quite threatening red's left flank with this move. Now at this point in time, because black had not moved the elephant, red will attack aggressively with c7+4 to threaten to capture the elephant, block the horse, and also there's always a possibility of c7 equals to 3, and this possibility or this threat will be key to red's success later on. Another plausible option would be to place r2+6 to attack the horse. Usually black would switch formations. This move will also threaten to capture the advisor, so red would have to move the advisor. And both colors will be pestering each other. Each color will have its scruples, and in this situation, it's very complicated. Black will be prepared to play p3+1 to capture the chariot and attack the elephant over here. There's always the threat of a smothered cannon checkmate, and suddenly the situation on the board would have intensified. So c7+4 would be red's very nice move of playing this situation. And black would, faced with this threat, it would appear to be a natural move for black to play p7+1. First of all, to deny red the threat of capturing the pawn. Secondly, also to develop his horse to the riverbank. As mentioned in my other videos, in the sandwich horse defense, if black were able to develop this horse beside the pal corner cannon, black would usually have a winning position. So this move would appear to be natural and imperative to make. However, because black's formation, his own formation, was not stable, he will be met with red's very brilliant tactical combinations, as can be seen. The sound move in this situation would be to play e3+5. Now would be the correct time to protect the horse with e3+5. So red would immediately pounce on the chance to make gains with r2+6. This would be the position of discussion for this pawn, and there will be 2 main variations. c6 equals to 4, whereby black tries to change his formation, threaten the advisor, and h7+6, whereby red chooses to attack aggressively. To version A, c6 equals to 4. Now, it is noteworthy to mention at this point in time, p7+1 is not a good idea, because black would simply play r2 equals to 3 to threaten to gain material, and black would have wasted 1-2 moves to pushing the pawn across the river, and also 2 moves to move the horse to a rather awkward position. Red would have secured the advantage at this point in time. So p7+1 is not viable. Variation A is c6 equals to 4. So red would simply capture the pawn. Now black would think that everything will be okay. He would protect the capture red's pawn, attack the horse, and also protect his horse. Now it would be inappropriate at this point, before we continue, for black to try to pilfer an advisor at this point, because red would simply move the chariot to the cannon rank, protect this very important line, and black would not have many more tactical combinations to continue. So if he captured the pawn, the cannon would be lost, and red would now be prepared to charge the pawn forward to attack the horse, and again red would have a huge advantage. So capturing the pawn would be much better than capturing the advisor. And in this move, in this board, red's main tactical counter would be r2 equals to 3, which is a very brilliant move. 7 plus 1. After trading, again, red will be attacking the elephant, forcing it to move, and red will be faster in playing h3 plus 4, whereby now he could choose to attack, capture the central pawn, etc., etc., and also limit the movement of the black horse. So black's material would not have much room for development or very good lines for development, and the positioning of red's pieces are obviously much superior. So this position would be to black's advantage. Sorry, to red's advantage. Variation B, variation B is 7 plus 6. Black tries to counter aggressively, and this would be the key move for red in this situation, a very brilliant tactical combination, offering the pawn, threatening the chariot, offering the pawn a sacrifice. Now, one would think that this would be a bad move because now the cannon will be under attack and you will not have any good place to move. Black would be prepared to play p7 plus 1. But it would be at this time that red would launch a surprise shot with r8 plus 3. By capturing the cannon, black can only capture the chariot. But in doing so, red would now deliver a check and capture the chariot back. So r2 plus 6, but unfortunately for black, this would be the best move in this situation. It would be a bad idea to play p7 plus 1 because red would gladly trade chariots. There's still the threat of c7 plus 3. So black would have to capture the chariot. Red would immediately move his chariot out of harm's way, and he would offer a trade of material because now the chariot would be protected. If black accepted the trade, black would lose momentum, and red would have the advantage. So p7 plus 1 is not viable. r3 minus 1 to capture the cannon, thinking that red would, since the chariot would still be protected, and black would not lose any material, and he would protect the central pawn. Red would gladly trade material, and now red would apply a fork with the chariot, threatening both pieces at one time. Black tries to mount some form of counter attack, capturing the horse. Check. Now at this point in time, in the moves given above, red did not miss the opportunity and chose to gain material very decisively. Now, although black had an offensive, but his backup was weak, and there would not be much that this combination can do at this point in time. For this move, if black played c3 equals to 1, black would sacrifice would move the advisor so that his king could move to the third rank, and basically black's attack would now be much weaker. And also, with this move, the cannon would protect the horse. r3 plus 6, the chariot cannot retreat or it will be captured by the horse. Now, black would be forced to make this move, and red will still have the advantage. So r3 plus 4 would perhaps be black's best move, trying to gain back lost material. red red would make this move of pushing the advisor to the palace corner, threatening to capture the chariot, so that it will protect the horse indirectly. And by sacrificing the advisor, the horse will now be free to move, and this horse will become a very fearsome entity. So red's left horse will be developed, and it will be a very quick attack. Red could go 1, 2, 3 for the elbow horse attack, and black's fragile defense would be very fragile, and the additional material advantage at this point will become more and more pronounced later on. So victory will be in sight for red, and black could have a terrible time ahead. So sorry, this would be variation VA. Now if R2 plus 6, capture, again threatening the horse, and red would gain material 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but black's offensive will be exhausted. So as I mentioned, R2 plus 6 would be variation BA. Sorry, I jumped a little bit too fast. Variation BB would be to capture the cannon, and again, as can be seen, red would have a winning position. Now, in this board, the main point is that the reason for black's demise was that he traded pawns. He traded pawns over here. Now, this move was done before he had consolidated his defense, and this, as his back ranks were weak, it gave red many opportunities to create. And coupled with the fact that red had this very brilliant move over here, red was able to gain a winning position. So let us review this board from the eyes of black. A short summary. Central cannon, pale corner cannon, sandwich defense. Again, red will play h8 plus 9, which is okay in this board. Instead of developing, he would defer the development of his chariots with h8 plus 9. Red takes the opportunity. Black goes for 5-7 cannons. Black again plays very proactively, developing a chariot and pushing the cannon forward to form a blockade. This is okay, but again, all this is done at the expense of inadequate defense on black's part. But so far, it's still okay. P7 plus 1 to attack. R8 plus 4, because E3 plus 5 will lead to a situation whereby red would have a huge advantage. R1 equals to 2, offering a trade. Black moves the chariot to command this very important line. Red starts the attack with C7 plus 4, P7 plus 1. Similarly natural move, but this would be the root of black's problems. R2 plus 6, and this would be the position of discussion. Variation A, C6 equals to 4. Note that P7 plus 1 is not viable, because red's chariot would now capture black's pawn and force the horse to a very awkward position where it cannot move. So red will secure the advantage. Variation A, black tries to switch formations. P3 plus 1, capture. Inappropriate at this point because red couldn't move, and now still threatened to gain material. Attack equals to 3 after capturing. Note that black would have lost a lot of momentum. Horse would move, and suddenly black's position will become very weak and very vulnerable. Variation B, P7 plus 1, a brilliant move to offer a trade-off position. This will be the second position of discussion. First variation BA, R2 plus 6, will lead to a situation whereby Red will be able to defend and gain a superior positioning in this situation. Variation BB, r8+6. Black does not lose any material, but red would now gain material with this chariot. Black tries to form an offensive. Black captures the horse forcibly, as he was very confident of his defense. A very nice move, a very nice defensive move by red, sacrificing the advisor to give the horse a line for development. So again, repeat, Black's demise stemmed from this move, which appeared very natural, but unfortunately it would be a huge problem. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. If you like the work that I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel. I've also written some books to help the non-Chinese speaker learn Xiangqi better. If you like the work that I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up as some form of encouragement. Thank you.